Hey guys, we have a preview for the final episode of Game of Thrones, and I'd like to say it's bittersweet, but if you watched my breakdown of last episode, it's pretty much all bitter at this point. That being said, we're going to break this baby down, which I think it's the #1 trending video in the world right now, and see what clues await us for next episode. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. We begin pretty much where we left off in episode 5, with the aftermath of the Battle of King's Landing. If you even want to call it a battle, it was more of a complete destruction. Fires are still raging among the ruins, and the streets are littered with corpses. Through the ashen haze, we can make out Jon and Sir Davos. If I were Jon, I'd seriously reconsider my allegiance to Dany, especially after she went completely mad and targeted innocent civilians. If Jon doesn't do something this episode, it'll be a real shame for his character, since in the last episode he really didn't do anything, nor did he have an impact on the battle. Jon Snow, arguably one of the most important characters in the show, did nothing in the second last episode. We then get this shot of Tyrion amongst the ruins, turning the corner to reveal the absolutely destroyed Red Keep. There's got to be so much shit going on through his mind. First, he's the Hand of the Queen, a queen who just obliterated an entire city and killed thousands. Second, he's still uncertain as to the fate of Jaime and Cersei. We know that he freed Jaime and concocted an escape plan for him and Cersei, so there is a world where he could live in ignorant bliss, thinking they somehow escaped and lived happily ever after. There's also a tiny chance, but I don't think this is particularly true, that they could have survived by hiding under one of those dragon skulls. But with the way the writing has gone this season, who knows what the hell is going to happen. Bricks have killed more people than the Night King.
Directed.
We get this shot of Arya walking past what appears to be celebrating Dothraki. Yes, suddenly there are now hundreds of Dothraki, even though most of them were supposed to have died in the Battle of Winterfell. Now this is also interesting because we saw Arya seemingly leave King's Landing on a white horse last episode, but now she's back, so I'm not entirely sure what the point of all that was. There's also some editing trickery here, as the next shot is her next to Unsullied, not Dothraki. But we do know from this wide shot that the Unsullied stand in front of their queen, while the Dothraki party in the background. Notice the arched ruins over here, which is likely where Arya is watching. The main question is how characters like Jon, Tyrion, and Arya will handle Dany's descent into madness. How will they take control when Dany still has a dragon and 2 seemingly large armies, even though most of them were supposed to be destroyed almost 2 episodes ago? The preview ends with Daenerys overlooking the ruins of King's Landing. She is now the Queen of Ash and has successfully done what her father could not: burn the city to the ground. Now I haven't looked into any of the supposed leaks from the upcoming episode, but Dany needs to go, and the obvious choice to do away with her is Jon. Now it would be kind of cool if he's about to kill her and she reveals she has his baby. That would at least resuscitate some life into this dead show. But if this episode doesn't give us any semblance of what provoked her to needlessly kill thousands even when they surrendered, this will be my biggest disappointment in film or television ever. And I lived through Lost. So I'll be watching the final episode, and I have more Game of Thrones videos on the way, so make sure to like and subscribe. I may even, depending on how this last episode shapes up, do an entire video on how I would have ended the series, so stay tuned for that. You can also follow me on Twitter at ThinkStoryYT. And remember, Daddy loves you very much.